Going to leave the field of play, and it would certainly have put Guinea in a really awkward spot.
Well, Slim Jadidi's whistle starts this second half then with Guinea in the white shirts, Mali in yellow. 1-0 for Mali. It's the team's second meeting in the Cup of Nations, their first for 8 years. Previously a quarter-final won by Mali in Tunisia 2004 by 2-1 when a late goal from Mamadou Diarra sent them through to the semi-final. Fought here by Ibrahima Diallo, one of the two players for Guinea on yellow cards from that first half. Now Bobo Balde. Now the team has made a change in terms of playing personnel for this second period. Here's Mamadou Ba, the other player who was shown a yellow card in that first 45 minutes. Habib Balde. Forward now by Zayat. This is Fainduno through for the run of Ibrahima Traore, but cleared away by Diakite, the goalkeeper for Mali. And the shot driven in, which Diakite has to make a much more testing save from it. Again, it was Ismail Bangura with the effort.
It's a comfortable save, but it's a good statement of their intentions from Guinea. Doesn't really get too much power, just drags the left foot shot a little bit. A comfortable save, but they've come out and passed the ball. Obviously had a few words at half-time. Now they have to start quickly to get themselves back into this tie.
Abdou Traore in collision, but it's going to be nothing more than a throw-in here for Guinea. Guinea, the Cili Nationale, coached by Michel Doussouyer. The two teams have French coaching. It was a very quiet first half for Seydou Keita, wasn't it?
It was. I'm not necessarily sure he's at his fittest, but sometimes the best players can just do a bit of organising, just calm things down, made a couple of passes. I think they settled into the game better. He certainly had an influence on that. See another, seemingly a foul, not given.
Yeah, play waved on. Here now is Cheikh Diabate. Oh, it's Keita, has to bounce back to his feet. He's lost the ball here, though. That's Ibrahima Traore. Worked on by Mamadou Ba now for Kamel Zayat. Las Bangura had one really good run in the first half, didn't he? Here he is again. Back for Mamadou Ba.
Got to keep him in the game, it's so important. He's a real threat with his pace. He's got to keep giving him the ball.
Ibrahima Diallo. Ibrahima Traore now for Diallo again. Diallo back on for Traore, picked off though well by Abdou Traore for Mali. Diallo again. Traore can't find a way past Drissa Diakite. Seydou Keita. And it goes now to Samba Diakite, and he felt he was tripped, and the referee agrees with him.
Card here, just full, all about the pace. Diakite does really well, very direct.
It was Habib Balde with the challenge. Get a talking to. Tambor will just move away from this free kick and leave it for his captain, who's Cedric Conte. In towards Diabate, the big centre forward. Now Adama Tambora. Can they find a second goal here, Mali? This is Samba Diakite. Across to Mamadou Ndiaye.
Of course, in that difficult place when you're 1-0 up, you just try and keep possession as much as possible. You still have to have an end product as well.
Ibrahima Traore now, he's given the return ball, but he was offside there when I think he played the ball into the initial centre forward. Flag up from the Rwandan assistant referee.
Conte's clever here, he just steps up, sees the play about to develop, reads it, see him just stop, very clever. The arm goes up straight away, knows that the play's coming. Again, good experience. Traore, certain that he's onside, but good play from the centre half. Very, very good awareness. Helps that he knows where his left back is as well. It's worse than playing the offside and your left back's run beyond you. Good defending. He's really been good tonight, shown great experience, Conte. I'm very impressed with him.
All games so far have been very close. It's been really good defensive displays by all the teams in this Cup of Nations. Gone are the days when we saw lots of goals scored, and now the games are often very cagey and very tactical affairs. Nations which grows and grows year by year. Throw in here for Tieno Bar. We've had already 5 minutes of this second half in Franceville. Way past Conte there for Ismail Bangura. Comes back now to Las Bangura. Tieno Bar. Las Bangura for Guinea. Pass one challenge, not past the second, who was Samba Diakite. Looks to be a pretty well-organised defence for Mali, though, tonight. Not giving much away at all. This is Mamadou Ba. Helped up to Seydou Keita here. Can he release the ball early? Not this time, he can't. Tries to hang on to it.
Sloppy. Slowing the play down. You've been under a bit of pressure. Sloppy to play it out of play. To get out of your half. Again, you don't want to get camped in. Just that pressure starts to build as you hold on to a 1-0 lead. Just players starting to be a little bit sloppy in their passing. Fatigue, a few nerves maybe in this first game. A warm night.
It's a kick-off, 29 degrees in Franceville. Balde across to Kamil Zayat. And Zayat with that long ball forward towards the pacey Las Bangura. A little too long that time from Zayat.
Difficult pitches, as wet as they are. Watered again at half-time. Very tough to make those long straight balls stick. A few frustrations for the coach. Probably knows that the team haven't quite settled yet.
Michel Desoye was denied the services of one of his key players in qualifying. Kevin Constant, the midfielder from Genoa, turned down the chance to play here, chose to stay and play in Serie A with his club.
It's an interesting decision. Anytime you get a chance to play for your country, you imagine. You certainly get pressure from their own home teams who don't want to go away for extended periods of time. I think it's one of those decisions when he sees the tournament start. Just regret looking back on his football career if he's not played as much international football as he possibly could.
Here's Ismail Bangura. Across comes Conte, who's been absolutely outstanding so far, the centre-back.
Challenges impeccably, read the game really well. Certainly not giving Ismail any sort of a kick at all. Ismail Bangura. It's been a bit disappointing for me up front. Hasn't had anywhere near as many touches as his opposition centre forward in Diabate.
This is Pascal Finduna. Now it's with Kamil Zayat for Guinea. Zayat, that's cleverly done. Out now to Tieno Bar. It's though a good spell by Guinea to try and get back onto level pegging.
Territorially, much better from them. Building the play a bit better. Camped at Mali half, but the delivery has to be better.
Was Las Bangura that time.
And this is clever from the goalkeeper. He's gone to ground now, buys his team a few seconds as he picks himself up. No need to throw himself to the floor. Look, that's a comfortable catch. But just knows his team have just been a bit up against it. Just relieve a bit of pressure.
It's won by Balde. And Czech Diabate has stayed down here. Knock on the head for the big Bordeaux striker.
A bit of a blow to the kidneys as well. Bit of everything there. Look at that. Bang. It's a painful one. That's an old centre-half trick, that. Look at the ball. Make sure you're kicking the man. Really painful. Just in the muscle.
Ever do that?
Well, kick people. Absolutely. Most of them are better and quicker than me. You have to come up with all kinds. You see, you're never going to get... It's a cynical one, because you're never going to get in trouble because you're looking at the ball, you know exactly where you're going, giving yourself some protection. Certainly tests the centre forwards. To say they would throw the occasional elbow when they're not looking as well as they're running onto the ball, so it's a bit swings and roundabouts. A bit painful. I'm sure he'll pick himself up from it. Might stiffen up later, but he'll be able to run that one off.
Michel Doucet, the former Benin coach from the last Cup of Nations. Alain Giresse on his third national job. He coached Georgia and then Gabon, and now in charge of the Eagles of Mali. We lead here still by that 1-0. saw number 7 getting warm there. That's Abdul Kamara, young striker from Sochaux in France. Guinea-born, but moved with his family to France at a very young age. Signed this season from Rennes, former French under-21 international. Played for the French at the under-17 World Cup, you may recall, on Eurosport back in 07 in Korea. But the second half has seen, 10 minutes have it gone by, and still Mali hold that 1-goal advantage. The goal scored in that first half, Bakay Traoré of Nancy, and they're getting warm is Abdul Kamara. Conte gets it forward, returns the ball to sportingly Guinea possession, and now they'll try and attack through Zayat, and it's worked out now to Tieno Ba.
See if Diabate seeks any retribution, taking a bit of a kick in the behind.
It's Las Bangura, throw in Guinea's way, which they take quickly to try and find Pascal Feinduno.
Both teams have been very good at taking these set pieces quickly. The flow of the game's been excellent, very few stoppages. Want to play a lot, get on with it. Obviously Guinea have to be, because they're chasing.
Las Bangura managed to try and win the corner. He won't do that on this occasion. Stays 1-0 for Mali, who've never lost their first game of a Cup of Nations. 3 wins and 3 draws is their record in opening matches. Their opening game at the last Cup of Nations, one of the all-time classics. They trailed the hosts Angola 4-0 before coming back to famously draw 4-4 in that first game of the last Cup of Nations in 2010.
It was 4-0 after about 75 minutes as well, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. Back they came brilliantly. And who scored the 4-4 goal, by the way, is on the bench, Mustafa Yatabare, playing these days with Gongomp in the French leagues. And here comes that change. Where's Razagui on his back? But it is Abdul Kamara of Sochaux. He's called up because Kevin Constant chose not to play for Guinea this Cup of Nations, and opportunity knocks, and on he comes now to make his debut too, by my reckoning. Uncapped at full level by Mali before today, but as I say, a former French youth and under-21 international. What do you make of these players who change their nationality?
Well, it's in the rules. I think if you're going to get a chance to go and play, but it does seem a little bit funny to see players who do it. Certainly, I think the rules work, so players can pick up junior international caps and never threaten the senior sides.
That's Feinduno through towards Ibrahima Traoré. Well read though by the impressive fullback Adama Tambora. He plays in the French second tier with Mez. Long here now towards Diabate. Heavy touch from Zayat, which might just favour Diabate. Those two have had a real tussle tonight. Plenty of brawn between those two as well. Really good battle. Clearances can be picked off by Modibo Maiga. As I say, he almost joined Newcastle in this window, but failed a medical last month. He was on the verge of a move to Newcastle too in the summer. Went on strike too with his French club Sochaux because that move didn't go through. Now back and playing for Sochaux. He scored 4 goals in the French league this season for them, but had his heart set on a move to Tyneside.
But he had to eat some humble pies. He went back into that changing room.
Didn't he just?
Been on strike and then fail a medical.
Here's Diabate. Strong play to get away from Zayat and from Balde momentarily. Balde comes back at him.
Strong challenge. He will need a hot bath after this. Not temperature-wise, but he's lucky there. It's a real flying hack from Balde. Just about gets enough of the ball. See his intentions, but it's a strong challenge.
Yes, he certainly walks a fine line, Bobo Balde, doesn't he, with these tackles he's made tonight. Here's Modibo Maiga. Now Abdul Kamara, first touch since coming on. And Jaurès' side still holding sway, but only just. A little of a second goal to buy some breathing space in Franceville here.
Fairly comfortable though. He's got a like they're getting dominating possession-wise, territorially. They've got the ability to create half a chance for themselves as well.
It's Samba Diakite, and here's Keita in by Drissa Diakite. Modibo Maiga now will take up the charge, and he combines with his fullback Drissa Diakite. It's his cross. Just stumble there too in the middle by the defender Bobo Balde, but now the break is on. Fenduno's neat turn, and a pass to release Abdul Kamara here, who's just come on. Abdul Kamara. All the way through for Fenduno, and enough Mali bodies and presence of mind there to just run this ball away. Conte.
Good place from Mali. Just alleviate the pressure, get enough bodies back, but they don't just kick the ball up the field and give possession away straight away. Have the presence of mind just to keep that possession. So important that you run the clock down as well.
With a striking change here, and coming off is going to be Ismail Bangura. Coming on is Ousmane Barry, another player who is a late squad change. He's in for the injured Larsen Toure of Brest in France. Barry with Étoile du Sahel in Tunisia, on his second cap, known as well by the nickname Pato. When he comes here to win that second cap, striker, lots of pace and power about him.
Talking about Ismail Bangura getting booed from his own fans in that last friendly. He's not really done too much to get them off his back here tonight. Might argue about the service that he's received, but hasn't really been a threat at all.
Certainly the Guinea fans are not exactly enamoured by the recent performances of Ismail Bangura. He has scored down the years 12 goals in 42 caps, but maybe his better days are now behind him. Former Le Mans and Dynamo Kiev and Rennes striker, replaced here now by the youngster Ousmane Barry, just 20 years of age, the man who's just come on. So the game has 28 minutes left to run in Franceville. Mali lead through that first half Bakay Traoré goal. Here's Conte. Conte forward now to Diabate. Habib Balde to Bobo Balde. Ibrahima Diallo. Back for Balde. Playing now in the French second division. Zayat. On ball to try and find the new player, Barry. Here is Ousmane Barry. Tambora forward for Mali. Now they can look to inject some pace into this. They're going to get a free kick as well.
And that's the point I'm making. Good in tight areas. Pick up a foul as well. Allows everybody to shift up the field. Just making sure they make the first touch. Drawing the foul. He'll be really pleased, Alain Giresse, if his team can see this out. I certainly think they deserve to on balance of play. They've been a bit more cultured.
Well, Mali's change, we'll see Gareth Dembele of Freiburg in the Bundesliga coming on. Player who had a really prolific year in Bulgaria with Levski Sofia last season, scored 36 in 39 for Levski. He's only scored once in the Bundesliga this season for struggling Freiburg, only one start in the league in truth, but he'll come on here for the striker Czech Diabate, who was for this game a major doubt with a hamstring strain, and on in his place comes Gareth Dembele.
He's now got a dozen other injuries to go with his hamstring. He's been great tonight. He's a big unit. He's been great physically. He's made sure he's worked hard for his team. He's certainly battered the two centre-halves around. It's a well-deserved rest. Been impressed with him.
Dembele on in his place. He's a former French international, born in Paris. Debut against the Ivory Coast just over a year ago for Mali. It's his third cap, yet to score. Either won by Zayat, and now it's Tieno Ba. Up to Barry. It's Gareth Dembele, first touch for him. Now Keita. Being pressured there by Habib Balde, but Keita kept possession. Keita did have knee and ankle problems in the days before this game, and maybe, as Matt says, a hint he's not entirely fully fit, the Barcelona man. Okay, for Bakay Traoré.
One or two bits of frustration coming in to that Guinea play.
Nabi Balde forward to here release Ibrahima Traoré. It's a good run here by Traoré. And wider still it comes. And the ball across goal, a great cross as well, and no one there to provide the finishing touch. Well, Barry, the player who's just come on, was nearest to it, but great work there to get the cross in from Abdul Kamara.
Fantastic. Just looked like the play had stalled slightly here. You want the ball to move quickly. I think it's stalled, but whips this in. Great, getting across the first man, just can't quite get his head on the ball. Good play from Barry, good commitment to go across the defender, comes from his blind spot. Just the frustrations, missing out by just a matter of inches.
Bobo Balde, that's given away, and now it's Gareth Dembele who will go through the gearbox here. Dembele, goalkeeper comes to meet him and does superbly there, Yatara. Here's Maiga, Keita, Maiga, and Keita again. It's Maiga again. Maiga's cross in towards Dembele. Just knocked away. Kept alive here by Abdul Traoré though for Mali. Good pressure here from the team who lead 1-0. Somba Diakite, now Tambura. And again Diakite, but how well there did the goalkeeper do?
Very well, because he did commit to it. Came an awfully long way. It's a foul. But came an awfully long way, Yatara. Probably Dembele just couldn't quite catch the ball. Strong challenge. About two-footed challenges.
Somba Diakite in the meanwhile has been shown a yellow card for Mali.
I think he just kicked the ball actually into the hoardings and he came back into play pretty quickly, but just a slight show of dissent. It's silly early on in the tournament.
Here goes Abdul Kamara. Kamara driving at them, but no way beyond the defender Drissa Diakite. This is Seydou Keita.
Keita's actually started to look fitter as the game's gone on. Seemed to loosen up a little bit. A couple of really nice things with the ball in possession.
That's Mamadou Ba. Ibrahima Traoré. That's a very heavy challenge card coming again here. Sunday is it?
It's all about pace and trickery. Too good for the clumsy centre halves. Only one way to stop players doing that.
Sunday becomes the second Mali man caution. 2 yellow cards apiece in this game so far.
It's just far too quick for Traoré. Just raises the leg up to catch him. All you have to do is go and commit the same player again. Be professional about it. He knows you can't make another challenge like that. And it is frustrating for the good players, the quick players, when they do that.
Saw Burkina Faso score a stunning free kick in their game against Angola on Sunday. On this one now, Pascal Fainduna will size this up and try and trouble Soumbela Diakite in the Mali goal.
It's been excellent so far tonight, the goalkeeper. I should imagine he's fairly confident that he won't get beaten from here.
Zayat is there as well with the brute force, or Fainduna with more finesse perhaps here, as Guinea try and level up this match. It's Fainduna, deflection, it'll be a corner, but nothing more than that.
It's a big ball as well, tough to get the ball up and over quickly. Doesn't strike the ball particularly well. It's probably just getting skewed off target as well. Take no chances in that defence though. Get the head on it, defend the set piece.
It's Ibrahima Traoré's corner, going towards Bobo Balde, turned away, and now maybe a break on for Mali. Tieno Ba. And again Ba has to get back here though, towards Gareth Dembele. Mali know now they are, what, 20 minutes away from getting 3 points and joining Ghana on 3 points at the top of Group D.
Been really impressed with how they've worked for each other defensively, Mali. The forwards have been quick to go and track down. Midfielders have got really tight up against their men as well. They haven't been able to pass the ball at all, Guinea, in the midfield areas. They've been really good physical at the back, the two centre-halves, maybe a bit over-physical, just seeing the booking.
We spoke about how they're missing one or two of the better-known names, Mali, the likes of Mamadou Diarra and Frederick Kanouté and Sissoko, but this is a young and evolving squad. Though for Guinea comes Finduna. The shot's on here maybe, but it's well over the bar.
Just looking to thread somebody, can't really thread a forward through, no real pace. So they've missed now that Kamara's gone. Last Bangora once again has to take a shot. That's never going to trouble the goalkeeper under pressure.
Mali's squad here, by the way, 16 of the 23 are 25 or younger. The oldest man is Keita at 32 now. Very much a changing of the guard for the Eagles of Mali. There's Maiga, up now to Gara Dembele, and he will look to stretch himself here. It's Dembele with a cross as well from Dembele. The goalkeeper has to get back at that, and over the bar with the fingertips of Yatara.
Really take a chance. I think he just miscues the cross. He does. Just looking to wrap his foot around it a little bit more. Goalkeeper can't take any chances. Probably just going to clip the top of the bar and go away, but you can't take a chance.
Goalkeeper Nabi Yatara of Al Avignon. This is his second Cup of Nations. Played 2 in the team which reached the quarter-finals back in Ghana in 2008. Only Mali's second corner. Guinea have had 6. Only 1 goal. Bakay Traore for Mali. Can they find a second goal? A potential game-clinching goal here. It's going to be an Abdou Traore corner for them. In by Traore. Hit long towards Gara Dembele. And Ibrahima Traore just ran out of space to run into there.
Just proves the point I made in the first half of those outswinging corners. When you overhit them, they just don't threaten at all. Very hard to get an in-swinger wrong. Okay, you might hit the front man, but it's always going to be a header that's under pressure.
Corners have been poor in this game so far tonight. This is Ibrahima Diallo for Guinea. Pascal Finduna, now 30, looking for a club, don't forget, after he left Sion in the Swiss League after their points deduction. 36 points they've had taken off them, Sion, and he thought he'd get away from that.
Sometimes puts a bit of pressure on a player as well if he's a bit uncertain about his own future. Coming into a tournament, obviously a great opportunity if you do well. Lots of scouts around, all the big clubs will be represented down here watching these games. It's
Balde. Here now is Bakay Traore again. Flags up here from the assistant referee. That's going to be a free kick Guinea's way, who are beginning to run out of time. There's going to be another change here made by Mali. It'll be Samba Sow coming on, midfielder from the French second division club Lens. This is his second Cup of Nations. He'll come on to replace Samba Diakite. So Samba Sow on to win his 10th cap tonight for Mali. We have 16 minutes left to play. Here, though, is Abdul Kamara for Guinea. Across to win the ball there with a good, strong challenge. Comes Samba Sow, who's just come on.
Great introduction. Good piece of cover. Probably why he's on for that defensive capability. Trying to see this game out.
Abi Balde with a cross. Not too long, that one, though. It's for Barry in the middle.
Just haven't had enough periods of sustained pressure. Guinea not been able to get any real fluid movement. The attacking play can hardly remember a time they've really linked up to create a clear chance for themselves. A couple of long-range shots only. little bit of threat with the pace when Las Bangura was on.
Well, Guinea, one of the more impressive qualifiers. They qualified at the expense of Nigeria, who missed their first Cup of Nations since 1986 here. Got a 2-2 draw in Lagos to book their place here, where they scored very deep in stoppage time to earn the draw, to send them through and to send the Super Eagles crashing out of the tournament. Here's Abdul Kamara. Still Kamara. It's a really good run. Kamara's ball across goal towards Barry. And Mali get it clear.
Yeah, hardly need to say who was reading the play in the middle. Conte again making a great challenge in the 6-yard box.
Fanduna gets the return ball here. Fanduna's ball through. Good ball through here for Diallo. And they couldn't find a player in the centre. But that Mali defence is having to work overtime at the moment, because Guinea really going for this now.
First time they've been really pressured. This is a great break. It's a lovely little pass. Just a clear run. Just needs to get his head up. Can't do it. Pulls into a dangerous area, but there's just nobody gone in on the run. Just a little bit disappointed from Diallo. Made such a great run. And that's really composed. Good play.
Well, that's Guinea's 10th Cup of Nations compared to a 7th for Mali, but at the moment it's Mali who holds sway in this one by a single goal for Alain Giress's team. Had 4 years in charge of Gabon up until the end of the last Cup of Nations in Angola. Had a year 2 as the head coach of Georgia in Europe.
2-1-0 to again.
Dumped on here towards Gara Dembele. Defender here is Tieno Ba for Guinea. All the games in this Cup of Nations have been really close so far. Just a 2-goal win is the biggest. That was Gabon against in their first game. Gabon against Niger, of course, yesterday. That's in Group C. Otherwise, games very close. All the games have had goals so far. This one no exception. Just one, though, scored by Bakay Traoré in that first half. But Guinea coming on strong. Here now is Fanduna. Foul by Abdou Traoré. Abdul Kamara. Kamara goes outside now. It's into Ibrahima Diallo. Poked away by Bakay Traoré. And now, here come Mali with numbers and with potential now. It's Modibo Maiga. Maiga, all the way through. Plenty of Guinea defenders have got back between Mali and the ball now. But last 12 minutes, and it's a very tight lead to have, 1-0.
They'll just be happy with they'll be happy just to have these periods, Mali, where they can just make the opponents chase around, take a bit of the sting out of the game. Certainly settle for the 1-0 right now. Never that easy. Going to come under some sort of pressure. It's definitely, I think, a bit more pace in the forwards for Guinea. They just haven't really utilised it as well as they could have done.
Here's Mamadou Ba. And there's going to be a free kick here in a very good position too for Guinea. Referee unhappy with what was a pretty strong challenge on Ibrahima Traoré.
It's the pace I'm talking about. Be direct, make people foul you. Clear foul, the first contact. Sets up a really dangerous opportunity. I think would favour a left footer.
Another change here. Abi Balde is the player to come off, and on in his place here will come the player he was going to start for. And that's wearing number 9, Sadio Diallo. That was the change to the initial team sheet. So with just over 10 minutes left to play in Franceville, Guinea with a set piece and a real chance here. 25 metres, says the on-screen caption. The wall is certainly back its required distance here, and then some.
Might not be by the time the kick's taken. Just creep forward as soon as the referee turns his back.
Well, Fanduna down the years has been a wonderful servant to Guinea, a great free kick taker as well for all those clubs he's played for. Bordeaux, Saint Etienne, Monaco. It's Fanduna's free kick, and the goalkeeper gets across to it and makes, in truth, a fairly regulation save.
Just a two-step run-up. Well, it's tough to generate the power. Read pretty comfortably by the goalkeeper. Diakite, who's been excellent tonight. He should have just held this first off, but at least palms the ball away from the goal. Still the pressure builds, though.
Yeah, this is Ousmane Barry. That's a curling effort, which is dipping, but not dipping enough there from Diallo, who's just come on. Sadio Diallo, another player based in France in the second division with Bastia on Corsica.
Certainly had their share of long-range shots. The one thing I don't think they've done well enough, Guinea, is to threaten the final third, the wide areas, to have crosses going into the box, to have bodies piling in there. It's all been fairly routine because the centre-halves are looking at the play developing. Conte and NDI really been able to take themselves in good positions on the edge of the box, see the play in front of them, certainly limit this Guinea team to those long-range shots which haven't troubled Diakite unduly.
That's Conte's clearance. Ibrahima Diallo. That's going to be a foul. Challenge on Abdul Kamara. Well, Guinea, another set piece here. Another chance to test the impressive Diakite. Feinduno. Now it's Mamadou Ba into Sadio Diallo, and he will wing the ball wide again to Feinduno, and wider still it goes now to involve Ibrahima Traore. His cross in towards Barry, and Mali's defence again does its job.
It does, and although it wasn't a cross from the final third, it just shows you the pace of that ball whipped in. It does cause a little bit of uncertainty as the ball zips off the surface.
Quick throw-in taken here, and the ball pulled back by Abdul Kamara, but again they couldn't find a white shirt in the penalty area.
Should do better, Kamara, because they've just switched off completely. Mali. It's a bit of composure, could probably take another touch.
Ibrahima Traore away from So. Now Tierno Ba with a cross. Header from Drissa Diakite.
Have to commit bodies in the box, though. Only really three, and of those three, only one was attacking the ball. Might as well lose 2-0 as lose 1-0. Just flood in there. So the midfielders have to take the responsibility.
Here comes Baka Traore. He's got the goal so far, and he's on the charge again here now for Mali. Baka Traore now for Gara Dembele. Dembele spots Abdou Traore here, but can't quite pick out his run.
Should do better, Dembele. Does well initially, rides a challenge, but then you have to keep the ball in play. Because certainly the flow has been with Guinea this last 5 minutes or so as they search for this equaliser.
Feinduno. Now it's onto Sadio Diallo here, who's just come on. Ibrahima Diallo with the cross in towards Ousmane Barry in the middle.
Ousmane Barry only, though. Just one player in the box.
Keita. Mali have failed to get past the first round in the last two Cup of Nations they've played in. They did underachieve despite those big names we mentioned earlier being in their squads. This now is Tierno Ba for Guinea. On to Ibrahima Traore. He's had a busy game. Back towards Abdul Kamara. To Traore now. Seydou Keita for Mali. He's got ahead Gara Dembele. Now he looks to him. Keita. Now Dembele. Keita's been left in a very painful heap on the deck here. Has been given a pretty rough ride at times tonight as Seydou Keita.
Just caught with a trailing leg, quite high up I think it was. First look just at the knee. Yeah, just the impact. Just in that sore area again. Might be a little bit of play acting in this as well. Kill the game off, bit of experience, break the rhythm.
Well, they want to bring on Ousmane Koulibaly, a defensive midfielder, just to see this game out. Might
be that he does replace Keita, who's certainly a great influence. good player when he's absolutely at his best. Just signals over that he's actually all right if the change doesn't want to be made. Might get some young, fresh legs on just to see the game out.
Well, Koulibaly is that. He's 22, plays with Brest in France, and here he is. Another of those Parisian-born players in this Mali squad as they cast their recruiting net far and wide. Began this season as Brest's first-choice right-back because of the injury to Omar Daf, the Senegalese. In his debut for Mali in October against Liberia in qualifying. And he comes on in place of Drissa Diakite.
Interesting move to change the fullback. Sometimes you put on the defensive midfielder, been solid defensively. Sometimes you don't want to upset that team shape. Again, just trying to see the game out. Mali now.
Well, he can play as a fullback or as a holding midfielder, Ousmane Koulibaly. This is Fenduno for Guinea. Ibrahima Diallo, last 4 minutes or so of the 90 minutes, plus I'd guess a minute or 3 of stoppage time. Gareth Dembele, now Keita. And again, Keita now recovered from the knock he got from Zayat a few moments ago.
2 points in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Control, please. Control,
Adama Tamboura here with the throw-in for Mali. And towards Dembele, he's been pretty quiet since coming on. The Freiburg striker has, of course, to fill the shoes of Papis Cisse, who's since moved on to Newcastle. Cisse was such a key figure for Freiburg last season. This now is Sadio Diallo. And again, Sadio Diallo. Mamadou Ba. Still Mamadou Ba. Little touch on. It's Mamadou Ba again. And the turn and shot. Maybe deflection on it too. It'll be a corner here. Handled camera's effort. It has won the corner for Guinea.
Certainly the quickest play that they've had in the build-up. Clever passing, one-touch passing. And that's when you upset defenders, when they have to move and adjust their bodies quickly. They've never really shown they've had quite that belief, Guinea, enough to get back in this game.
Well, can they level late here? Balde's up there with the heading chance, though he couldn't quite make a connection with it. Back in there by Barry. And the shot from Sadio Diallo blocked away. And on the break now, here come Mali again. It's Modibo Maiga. Play stopped though for a head injury, I think, here.
I think he takes the ball in the chest or the throat area. 1 or 2 vain appeals for handball. Just stands really strong. NDI needs to pick himself up all right from this again. Just a bit of glory hunting. Made a good block on behalf of his team. And they've been excellent defensively. Been very impressed with Mali as a team. It's a good strike. Just catches him flush in the chest. Worth a little bit of a pain. Does well. See how he's got his arms behind his back. Clever. No hints that it could be a handball. Good, brave central defensive play as well. Doesn't turn his back. Keeps his eye on the ball. He'll be delighted with his team. They've been solid tonight. Haven't been too inspirational going forward. They've been workmanlike. But they've been clever in the midfield areas. We've certainly had really, really good experience at the back. Yeah, they played on, didn't they? They didn't give the ball back, Guinea.
They did, yeah.
It's been controversial for a second or so.
It didn't come to anything, but it's now been given away again. And here is Sadio Diallo. And he goes in heavily on Ousmane Koulibaly. But yes, they chose not to give the ball back sportingly and tried to play on, and nothing came of it. Well, the fans of the Eagles of Mali are the happier. The next game, though, is already going to be a mouth-watering one against Ghana in this stadium on Saturday. That'll be a great game. Of course, all the games in this Cup of Nations live here on the Eurosport network for you.
Just takes such a pressure off you, though, when you win your first game. Know that probably 4 points will get you through.
Here's Adama Tamboura. Tomorrow's live games on Eurosport come from Group A. At 1700 CET, we'll have Libya against Zambia. Followed by at 2000 CET, the co-host Equatorial Guinea in their game with Senegal. Those are the second games for those teams as we go back to Group A. So UK time 4 p.m. for Libya and Zambia, 7 p.m. UK time for Equatorial Guinea against Senegal. Long here towards Dembele, two then went for the same ball for Guinea, Keita. This is Abdou Traoré. Abdou Traoré inside now to Keita. Again Keita. That's Sombasso, and he gets the ball back again for Keita. And Keita tied to the touchline here, but he's done well. Sombasso again. Heavy tackle then from the already yellow-carded Ibrahima Diallo. Referee comes across here now. The number 18, the fullback here, is on a yellow card from the first half.
Well, that is a booking. Nobody likes to see players get sent off, but that is a booking. You go lunging in. He's going to be very, very lucky if he escapes with this one. It's a poor challenge. No, it's not malicious. He's never going to do any damage, but it's mistimed, and you would expect to pick up a booking in the modern game for that.
Well, there's no further action taken.
He's escaped with it. Good passage of play though from Mali again, just trying to kill the game. Clever play. That's not quite so clever. Passing play up to the free kick certainly was. Once again, Keita, who's been an increasing influence in the game, very good.
Chase on here now for Barry. Worth saying that Guinea scored very, very late in their last qualifier against Nigeria to book their place here in Gabon and Equatorial Guinea for these finals. We're now in stoppage time, of which there'll be 4 minutes. We've had almost 2 of them. Guinea need a goal from somewhere to prevent a losing start to these Cup of Nations finals. Here's Sadio Diallo and Feduna. Lovely turn, he's caught there too. That is a free kick. And Guinea short on time, have to get on with this pretty quickly. Feduna takes it short to Balde. Feduna again for Guinea. Getting close to now or never time. This is Ibrahima Traoré. Neatly done. It's going to come back towards Feduna. Mamadou Ba. Barry pokes it out. Here now to Tieno Ba.
Everybody behind the ball for Mali. Just 2, lots of 5 really. Every single player, 1 or 2 just stretching out now.
Well, the cross sent in, but Conte, who's been outstanding, gets it away. Tieno Ba needs a good cross here because time is almost up. Comes across to Pascal Feduna, who takes aim! Goalkeeper's fingertips. May have just denied Guinea a point.
It's been great, Dick. He got himself onto everything. This one just sits up really nicely for Feduna. Strikes it well with the left foot, strikes across the ball. I'm sure it'll move. We might get a view of it from behind the goal, and it will just move a bit in the air.
In goes that corner for Guinea. This might be their last attack. They'll have a throw in.
Yeah, there's the strike. He's able just to help it on its way, just swerving very slightly. Momentum of the ball just flicked over the bar. The fingertips.
In by Feduna, cleared by the goal scorer Bakay Traoré. And here come Mali now against a tired and stretched Guinea. They have a free kick too. That might just see out the game too.
Stupid from Zayat. Silly. Should know better than that. He's more experienced. Just fly hacks the legs. Traoré, and he has to be better than that, Zayat. It's a silly one because now they can all move up to the halfway line. They'll take this short, retain possession, which they've done very well, Mali. I think they're worthy winners.
And his goal might just be the winner. Bakay Traoré. This is Modibo Maiga, and that's full time. Referee Slim Jadidi blows the whistle. And Mali maintain their record of never having lost an opening game at a Cup of Nations. That's now 4 wins and 3 draws. And this one won by a really good hit from Bakay Traoré. And Mali, Matt, as you say, deserved winners.
Yes, I think they've been excellent. They've controlled large parts of the game, looked more dangerous, got the job done, and have had a really good start to the tournament.
So Mali winners by 1-0.
0. Don't please. Thank you again.
It does give us a really good game in the second round of matches in Group D now, where Ghana will face Mali.
Mali against Guinea. No highlights of Ghana.
A super strike from Bakar Traore to win this match. Only his second goal for the national team. And Mali make a winning start. Let's take a look now at the goal which did win the game, Matt. And as you say, it was a performance from Mali which earned the 3 points. And the goal, when it came, was a tremendous hit.
Yeah, it looked like the cutback might be the one. Decent chance. But what a strike when it came in. The first strike was great. It's on target anyway. But the deflection is what takes it past the goalkeeper, who's already committed to making the first save. Have to do better. Have to do better there, Guinea. Lines himself up really well. Keeps his head down. Strikes through the ball. Good play, great pace. A fantastic strike, and just the dip and swerve. The pace on the ball makes it very tough for the goalkeeper.
So Group C has seen 2 1-0 victories. Earlier, Ghana beat Botswana, the newcomers, by a single goal scored by Jean Mensah. And here Mali have matched them. So the two teams at the top dead level on goal difference and points. Botswana and Guinea are playing catch-up in Group D. Well, tomorrow we have another double-header. We're back to Group A tomorrow for you on Eurosport. The first game we'll have tomorrow is live at 16:50 CET. It's Libya versus Zambia. So 4 p.m. UK time, the kickoff. And the second game in that Group A, we'll see the co-hosts, Equatorial Guinea against Senegal. That's 17:30 CET. As the co-hosts try and get their second win in succession. This, their first finals. They won their first game. Now they face one of the favourites, Senegal, who lost to Zambia. But here it is celebrations for the Eagles of Mali. They've won this game by 1-0. This, the goal, scored superbly by Bakar Traore of Nancy in France. And they now face Ghana on Saturday in their second game. A potential group decider then. From myself, Dan O'Hagan and Matt Jackson, it's goodbye, and we'll see you soon. This has been a really good game. Goodbye from us. Mali winners.
Cup of Nations, the big prize on a continent that's seen a shift of power in recent times. So which country's flags will fly at the final whistle? The Africa Cup of Nations, tomorrow at 1700 with Libya versus Zambia and Equatorial Guinea Senegal at 19:30, live on Eurosport.
Welcome to the zone. It's not a place, it's a state of mind, of being. You can see, feel, sense everything. He knows what cards you have, just as surely as if he was looking at them. You want to find the zone, you put in the hours. Play the hands. With more tournaments and more players, you'll find it at PokerStars, the world's largest poker site.
Africa Cup of Nations, the big prize on a continent that's seen a shift of power in recent times. So which country's flags will fly at the final whistle? The Africa Cup of Nations, tomorrow at 1700 with Libya versus Zambia and Equatorial Guinea Senegal at 19:30, live on Eurosport.